ham-fisting priority into the bottom side of the map on the D+ side, giving the Kaiser a little bit of a better time in lane. And it does mean now it's likely, you know, 2.5 winning lanes. You know, got to be still popular. I mean, it's just good.
I mean, I know it's still good.
That's probably what I'd go with for these two teams anyway. So there might be a little bit of something. It is just one grub going on over to DK. As aiming, supercharges, runs away, and is now able to offer some damage back. Aiming not quite finding the Q or the W, so he's going to have to back away. Sponge taking some damage though, as 2 grubs actually going over to DK. And Smite still up for Sponge, so he will be able to get this last one. Boulder's being thrown down. Crab's not going to be claimed by DK, but then
it goes with anything. And I think catch-up is close, but not quite there.
Well, Rich is going to get caught out here. She was already taking a fair bit of damage, but now Lucid getting his claws into the Rumble. Let's see whether he can take someone with him, as even a grass proc going down as Showmaker goes in, and the Dragon actually is what helps end this Rumble. So first blood going over to DK, and I'm going to avoid this mayonnaise ketchup conversation for as long as I possibly can. Oh! The flash charm from Showmaker is going to help as, oh dear! That's not the part of the wall that UCal wanted to head towards, as the Impale was good. Lucid able to pick him off, as there goes the Aurora. You know, spot. And then a whole lot of, like, you know, it's like there's a lot of spicy flavor with the cloves and stuff like that. It's Sponge gonna have to go untargetable, doesn't get crashed into by Lucid here. Still not exactly a fight that DRX are looking to win at this point with the man advantage DK have. Never mind, the Magnet Storm flies through, and Lucid, he gets a little bit of an Impale, but then he just goes down. Sponge has to flash, but will stay alive. Now the top laners are making their way in. The Jace gets there first as Pleta gets booped away immediately. She desperately trying to find an angle to take down the doggo, but it's not going to work as he has to walk the red carpet to get out. And Rich with a beautifully placed equalizer should be enough to take him down. That flash was optimistic at best, and DRX, they even grab feats of warfare off the back of that play.
That's the hot sauce burn there for DK. Think they're impervious, but as it turns out, no one is. Heavily overcommit. Lucid thinks he's invincible, which he is not, as it turns out. And
gorgeously played by DRX, and we knew that this is what was going to happen. This is what we deserved in this series. That is DRX delivering something that we could have never have predicted.
That's why, because DK got, I think it was the first grub.
So my mom,
fresh, right?
My mom actually makes tomato relish, and I get her to send it to me whenever I run out.
This is what. Okay, now I get why you go for relish. No, I'm Sponge is going to take this. It looks like.
Yeah, Lucid nowhere in the area, so not going to have to deal with any sort of smite battle. So the Rift Herald will just be claimed. Pleta just trying to get rid of Lucid as best he can.
Still no stack, by the way.
Yeah, hopefully we see that at some point. Rich throws down an equalizer for some reason. You just stay even forever. Do both teams suffer? As all right, Beryl going to get engaged on here. Remember, he's just an eco, and he's just dead.
The hallmarks of a great DRX game, we're seeing Sponge not behind, UCal popping off, and Teddy, he has actual team action. Yeah.
Well, Chu is going to do the walk off the ultimate thing. That might work out here as he does boot back Sponge, but back in he goes. Chu's going to flash this time. He gets healed up as Beryl comes in, and will be able to at least keep them at bay. Let's see whether Beryl survives as he holds the minion wave for as long as he can. The rest of DRX moving towards the mid lane as a teleport does come in. Sponge taking a bit of damage as the daggers are coming on through as Lucid's driving on forward. Flash over from Rich. That was pretty sexy as here's a Magnet Storm. Showmaker trying to get out of here, and he should be able to do so with the Spirit Rush, but does have to invest it. Flash forward from UCal was optimistic at best. Sometimes you just want to keep that button on cooldown, Chronicler. That's how it works, as Rich is the one that takes the Gromp for some reason. Oh god, this series is this series. Okay, there's the Impale, and down goes the Doggo. You cannot untargetable that one, as aiming comes on through and grabs his first of the game.
We've seen from him succeed in a while. Obviously started off really hot, but a little bit slowed down since, as he's looking for more.
Yeah, picks up a rock. Let's see whether Teddy's going to be okay here. As Arcane Shift already on cooldown. The Pop Blossom, the full commit, and down goes the bottom lane. Gorgeously played here by DK.
And E, so I feel like that is somewhat warranted, but it's the setup there that comes through. Beryl pretending to be Shield.
And Beryl also was...
It does feel like DK after that play towards topside said, okay guys, we gotta pull back a little bit and respect a bit more. Have seemed like they've given less opening ever since, except Beryl, but well, I don't know all of them.
If they had to be different ones.
So it's just, instead of specific bird, it's just birds.
Yeah. That's how deep into the I want to talk about something else. Pop Blossom under 3 is gorgeous here, is right out of nowhere. They save us from the monotony. Beryl. Oh, he did not want to hear about the fact that his team was a monotream. All he wanted was to knock them all up into the sky and take a dragon.
And DRX seemingly caught more off guard than Atlas. Then I think how you set up side lanes, right? Like what vision is secured, where are your teammates in relation to you, how much freedom do you have, how much control you have of the map. And DRX often isn't able to quite keep up there. They will get this turret finally. And that power, and that power, and that power too.
All right, Chu is going to dance on top of the equalizer, and Rich burning down, but isn't going to fall. Man, that was so extraordinarily close. Umbrella, and he's got his like birds hoodie that he loves.
He has big on binoculars as well. Oh yeah. Shiu, he doesn't have flash.
Yeah, he's walking down that red carpet once again, and there is a doggo behind him. And so that is going to be a dead Jace. Great pick here from DRX, and an overextension here from the young top laner. The entirety of this game, as aiming has a Banshee's Veil, which is an odd choice, but going to keep him relatively safe. All right, here's the Magnet Storm. Doesn't find Beryl. Has now aiming, able to free hit towards his backline. Pleaded down already, the Impale connecting onto 1 as there's the Pop Blossom onto 2. Yukal trying to get out, aiming with the Killer Instinct, and able to rain down a Cathianly to take down the Aurora. Sponge still looking for more as Teddy feels like he has an angle, and Sponge goes in, goes out again, and smacked into the wall, but there's the equalizer, and we know that is so deadly here from Rich as Shiu dives forward. I don't know about it. 1 versus 3 here as Beryl and aiming are coming down. Teddy looking for some options, doesn't quite get anything.
Showmaker was out on the map, plus the fact that he's was just about to buy a death cap means that this is going to be soul point for DRX.
All right, DRX being able to find a big advantage here. Chemtech Soul on the line now for the next team fight.
Chiu's TP timing is still a little bit up, but it is close as Beryl.
Oh dear, True Shot Barrage not going to connect onto the right one as now Yukal looking to take down the Nico, and Beryl is able to actually get out of the way, baits them all into committing towards him so they get an outer turret in mid.
Sponge, he's baiting.
Yeah, doesn't have his flash, remember. As Beryl off to the side, Pop Blossom in hand, True Shot Barrage. Not going to be enough to take down the crab. That is secured here by Lucid.
Let's get the smite.
How about that one? I mean, Chemtech is...
But they don't get anything.
Yeah, so they get position on Baron.
Yeah.
And the smite is also roaming up, as we can see. So the dragon goes over. There's Chemtech Soul.
Oh, DK.
DK, that might be the opportunity as Pletter is down relatively low. They're keeping it leashed as best they can. Shiu off to the side as in goes Yukal. Pletter going to be taken out before he can really do too much, but Beryl also throws away another ulti. The jungler is dead on DK's side, and Sponge is still here. The Baron is so extraordinarily low, and it goes over to DRX. DK are throwing it all away as they lose the soul. They lose the Baron.
Found target ban. He's shown why he's got the win streak on this pick, because I think his turns onto Lucid specifically, KDA might not look too impressive, but it's that in tandem with Rich's toasting in the fights that I think are the big difference maker. But you know what, Atlas, I don't think this is enough for DRX. And you know what that means?
It's Elder Flippin' time, baby!
Good. No.
So I don't trust them to be able to make the right decisions. Let's see whether this Showmaker flank is going to work, though, as the Charm and the Orbit Deception go wide. Pletter is likely to die, but does get the Magnet Storm off. Never mind, it was just a crash down still. Beryl is going to die too, and there goes Lucid. Sponge diving in. It's a huge shield here from aiming, but Sponge just bleeds him to death. Shiu and Showmaker will still have some damage. They take down Yukal, and Sponge is almost dead, but will just barely survive. 3-1.
A minute!
And DRX should just be able to close this one out, right?
I think they can. 25 seconds on Barrel. They're running up. That's Kevtech value, baby!
That's what we're talking about. Teddy going to join the rest of his team. And the first inhibitor is going to fall. Some honey fruit trying to be eaten here by Sponge as Showmaker is still, I mean, he was still healthy before. Now he is no longer.
This is going to be pretty tight. Barrel's up soon, but I don't think that alone is enough. I think they got it, Atlas!
Yeah, these Nexus turrets are falling like paper as Teddy looking for his options as Rich is here. And yeah, no one can get anywhere near the walking barbecue. And here they are going to be able to do it. Down goes the Nexus. And DRX just outplayed DK. All right, well, I mean, we've seen this DRX comp being played by a whole lot of other teams here in the LCK. It's tried and true, gets things done, gets it done fast.
Teddy also, I mean, it was Teddy just walking up.
Yeah,
right? Like
and that happened, yeah.
I think that was the main, he was what, 40%?
But can't you just reset after that, you know? And
well, I could have, but then he, like the real issue is that even if he
mental reset is what I meant.
Oh, no, yeah, that was I'd argue that's still necessary. What do I go? I think Showmaker goes. She was here, level 6, big crocodile, fighting for the grubs.
Yeah, they are well and truly investing hard into this one. Oh, he steals it! Oh, that was very cute. There by Teddy. Gonna deny some feats of strength there as well. Speaking of denying stuff, a whole wave.
Yes. Yeah, the absence
definitely
of thing
can.
is also a definition. It's all plata.
Yeah, nice cocoon. What goes up must come down. Seismic Shove needs to be flashed there, but he flashes towards UCal. Very nicely done. Shiyu and Teddy fighting one another as the gravity field is fantastic. And another deadly flourish. Now the curtains are being called and down goes the Talia. Lucid, that permafrost is well and truly stacked up as she was just trying to be a wall as he flashes in and manages to cut down Little Miss Piggy. In goes Beryl as well as Teddy's overstepped. He's forced to flash away and this crocodile is so scary, but the public execution to try and lock him down. Shiyu gets another Q, but it's not quite enough. Finally, Pleta falls as Lucid gets a few autos off, flashes over.
He's running.
Find the knock-up. Let's see whether he can actually get out. He gets the movement speed. And he's going to be all right as Beryl,
Showmaker
also with the assistance of the Wind Becomes Lightning, might be able to make it out. Does he have a Q though? That's the question is, yep, in goes Showmaker and the Ambessa should also be, never mind, it's Ambessa. When I said Ambessa, I knew she probably wasn't going to die. Great knock-up though, as Lucid will finally fall. UCal makes his way in. The longest team fight at 7.5 minutes we have ever seen. But I think finally it has concluded. Wait.
I do know it.
Yeah, you know it's going to happen. You just
don't know when.
Prefer to be just
prefer to be ignorant of it.
Yeah,
just say
preferring to be ignorant. Yeah, it just sounded bad, you know.
No, it's you know when it comes to barrel teams how that feels. So I'm not too bothered. Oh, Showmaker.
Yep. He's going to flash one of the buttons. Does throw the Piggy through the rocks. Is now Pleta in a little bit of trouble. UCal as well. One more turret shot, and that would have been him going down. But they do just manage to walk their way out. Shiyu and Rich fighting one another, as it is going to be a Cloud Soul this game. I guess I will take this grub. And Shiyu's going to grab some more plates. Rich may have overstepped here. Wind Becomes Lightning. In goes Lucid. And Rich having to flash. They will also lose first turret. As one more Drake or Rift Herald. And DK can grab themselves some upgraded shoes. That'll be a difference from the last game. Certainly important stuff as Pleta is going to face check the Crocodile. There is the public execution. And down goes the Croc.
They really needed that to not happen. DK, because that is the strongest member, a Showmaker.
Oh, no. In goes Beryl, but he's going to be a little bit too late as Showmaker is bathing in the Chaos Storm. And that is not what you want for a healthy future. Yeah, I mean...
Right?
I'd like to huff whatever you've got, Chronicler. Is that
I'm trying to see the line,
type thing? I don't know. As all right, Rift Herald, that will be feats of strength if DK can lock this one down, as now Beryl could be in trouble. Pleta gonna go up into the sky as the curtain has been called, aiming, able to tank that one for his support, and there goes the feats of strength. Wanting to throw a cocoon at anyone is okay. No, DK, they're committing to it. We have to. This is the way. Hex Splash in. There's the bullet time as well. Sponge not going to be smiting this one. Never mind. He gets in with the Arctic Assault and down goes the Ambessa. I don't know whether it was necessarily worth it, but it was a very huge smite. And Showmaker taxis in on the wall. He'll get the flash out from the Victor as well. Very, very important. And you mentioned the fact that the Crocodile was big. One thing we didn't mention was the gigantic lead that our Gold King had. And Pleta, that is not what Dan Orcs Harrison wanted to see. Oh no. UCal now no flash, remember, and Beryl is going in. Another seismic shove, another death, and sometimes it is written, Chronicle.
And I swear, Atlas, I've seen, particularly with these type of composition, I've seen this exact thing happen so often.
Can DK actually capitalize on the cross map? Cross map has not been their strongest suit, but Elise has not been Pleta's strongest suit either, as aiming comes on in. That's a love tap. And I guess if at first you don't succeed, let's just go again. This time with a teleport towards the bottom side as well. So it's 1-for-1 as both turrets are going to be falling.
Crucially, they did not have Rich's ults on the first dive.
I'm trying to get rid of them. Rich wanting to get that angle. Shio on a flank of his own. Captive audience off to the side as Make It Rain just to hold him in position. And Lucid just dashes in and destroys Pleta. No repellent from that one, and now it's Shio's turn. Great interruption there, but they get on top of Sponge still. Shio is just dead. Oh, the Arctic Assault just too powerful there as the Eclipse trying to tank up the curtain call. And DK, it's a 1-for-1, but the Elise was doing almost less than 0. And so not having the Crocodile going to be important. He does have teleport. Sponge cannot throw his life away, but that is exactly what he's doing. And aiming finds the double up to get the last hit of damage.
Shio not having the best day. Unfortunately, as he just goes in and dies unceremoniously and only.
And Jin is a utility champion. All right, Lucid going forward. There's another wall as Teddy running as best he can, but the Spider cannot do that. Having a look here, Teddy versus aiming. I mean,
Beryl?
It's a lot of damage that Teddy's done, and in they go, actually. Rich looking for an angle. Beryl is alive. Gonna get missed by the ult, but does get hit by the curtains. The Otacon is gonna have to be given up on, though. Sorts of different things. Sponge gonna take a little while to get on over here. There are no ultimates left on the side of DRX, and that might be why DK are happy to go for this one. Sponge almost in smite range as he can just Arctic Assault over. This is so dangerous. Knockup does come on through, but look at this health bar. It is secured, and now they get a gorgeous bullet time. The shove just to throw Pleta in there, and it's a quadra already from aiming. The seismic shove brings it back, and Showmaker says, not today, aiming. We are not playing well enough to be getting pentakill.
He flashed for that!
That's my boy. That's my boy. That's why you love this team, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, I do think Teddy probably would have ran it off and not died.
Good guy, Teddy.
You know, giving his life for the Penta, I respect it.
Well, Sponge and UCal now in an awkward position in this one. Shio now just chasing them down. A scary Crocodile, but he's going to get CC'd. Still, Lucid now diving forward, Rich in the back line. Showmaker down to 50%, but the shove is gorgeous once again. And if at first you don't succeed aiming, try again, as it's another quadra, and it's stolen again, this time by Lucid. But you can see aiming not quite able to get there. Look at that! Oh man, if they could turn on friendly fire, you know aiming would. He definitely
Look at Lucid's face! He knows what he did!
Oh my goodness.
Twice!
If this was Ruler would have like tried to pause the game or just left the stage.
He would have ran into the turret. That's
oh yeah.
How did this game go from an even mess to 2 denied
pentas and a 12,000 gold lead?
Oh!
A 5,500 Rebel Baron power play. And Lucid just gonna solo this Cloud Soul so they can win the game.
I don't see it, Atlas.
That's the strategy.
Atlas, I don't see the lines. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not.
Neither do I, but that's sometimes where the most courage comes from, as they all get knocked out of the solar flare, but still, these wallets are so heavy. It is absurd! That is aiming getting 1 kill this time around, but there's already a double for Showmaker, and Shio just chasing Teddy down. It's in fact a solo kill. Teddy just wasn't actually able to get in there whatsoever, and now this game is over. 24-9 is the kill score, a gigantic lead, and DK, I think, showing us a little bit more what their power level is supposed to be like here in the LCK.
And I have to see. My guess is that it would be the Pantheon jungle.
Yeah.
And not the support variety, because I think trying to play Pantheon jungle into Braum is actually not.
Yeah,
like
support Pantheon. Yeah,
that's kind of miserable.
What you want to see.
I know.
As Sponge looking for aiming in barrel here. Let's see whether barrel can find an angle. He just pushes the tree away. Is aiming going to be taken out? Teddy burning. Pleta. That's a very well charged turret, but he is still able to get himself out.
Triple grubs, but is that worth it? I'm not so sure.
And they are at least going to be able to get some of the experience here, as Rich just being frustrating. Does have his level 6 available, but that is going to be 3 grubs going over to DK. And Sponge, we're going to trade that one for this Dragon. Showmaker sidestepping UCal.
Paris has been so high in the ban priority list, particularly with the Braum and Lethal Tempo. It's always going to be an uphill battle. So DK knew this. I think that, again, if a second dive would have hit, it would have been rough. Right now, aiming a full level behind is played out so far. Atlas, we both know this is just build up to the inevitable shenanigans.
Okay, Showmaker down here. Just looking for an angle as the ulti comes through, and there's the flash. UCal nowhere to go, and it should be the answering kill here. Showmaker picks it up. Nice gank from Lucid as well, good position, but the evening out of the grubs is going to be the result.
There is a window where if Rich is a little bit slower, Shield gets the crash, and then they actually have to give something up. But here, if Shield TP's in, I don't think the fight's looking all too hot, so not going to run the risk.
When I grew up, we also said football, but that meant running around and bouncing the thing and then kicking it if you felt like it.
That's the sport.
Yeah, and having Lucid goes in. I don't know about that one, as the knockups are pretty huge. Still aiming, trying to live up in this chaos and make something happen, and it just doesn't work. The flash gonna have to be used to get out of the way of UCal as the Emperor's Divide pushes Pleta under the turret. Rich alongside him, but he's pretty tanky, and now aiming is alone and getting closed in on by everyone. Snapped up by the Yone as in goes Shiu to grab the kill onto Rich, but the Zombie Scion is gonna lock down the Jax. He finally gets the counter-strike as UCal outplays him. Still, it's going to be Showmaker able to lock down a kill onto the tree, and who won that fight?
Nobody knows, Atlas! You don't, I don't know if the team does. Well, it's not over yet, I guess. Lucid is ult! He's been ulting!
Oh god, is Barrel... Well, it's a 3 versus 3, but the puppy has baited them all in! UCal's able to get one of them with the help of Teddy, but now Lucid gets himself the stun. Showmaker able to lock down both of them. He didn't know, he couldn't decide, and instead they're gonna kill both. Thanks, Barrel.
Well, now I know who won!
Yep.
And then 3 people die. And so in the end is what, like a 6-for-3 trade?
Yeah, who knows? It was. I think a few more on DRX died in the end.
UCal flashes as well. That's a big flash.
Yeah.
It's a big cooldown. They do get Shelly.
That's all right. Lucid eating some honey fruit. Should be okay here. Someone.
All right, DK.
Grab the pedals.
Shove out the waves. That's a giant crash in bot. Big crash in mid. And oh, look at the possible angles of attack here for DK.
Yep, aiming has that first item. As now Teddy's in trouble. Aiming finds the ulti. As now I don't think the door is quite going to be enough. Empress Divide, and it just squashes the Varus. Still, it's a huge stun, but it's not enough. Here on the side of DRX, and aiming is able to play in the front line. UCal pushed around, and DK, they can take an outer turret, they can take a dragon, they can take whatever they want.
And he's been struggling today, but it's Shiu that starts up the fight there. No flash on Teddy, crucially. And this is the one weakness that we mentioned. Front to back, DRX, their comp is amazing. More about how can they use it as a Showmaker. He does have a turret, but that's a lot of people. Double TP.
Yeah, Barrel's coming down. There is a grand starfall. And now Barrel finds himself in an awkward spot. Never mind. He turns it into a triple knockup. A huge engage as aiming comes over the wall. There is a kill onto the Azir for DRX. They get a couple. But now I think it's certification time for aiming on this Zeri. As DK, they go 3 for 2.
DRX, no, we can't contest this, unfortunately. Is just going to go over. Maybe a Rich going to try and, get a...
I mean, Lucid's here with Smite. So
well, yeah,
there's nothing Rich is going to be able to do. He just watches as the Voracious Archon does go down.
I want to... Oh, no.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, no.
Hang
Not the
on.
counter
Wait. But look at all of these Hex Gates that have been taken. As now Showmaker booking it towards UCal. He's just in position, so he can just wall him, and there it goes. Now it's a 2v2. And there is no damage here, represented by DRX. Feeling a little more like a whimper.
Yeah.
That felt sadder than it did in my head.
Well, no, I think my set, did.
Yeah. Lucid going to be able to stun up Pleta here, is just trying to stand beside Teddy. Okay, they do find the Nature's Grasp, but in goes Showmaker. I don't know about it. As Sponge is trying to get them out of there, the heroic charge is going to come through. As aiming, he is going to be recalled after grabbing himself a kill. Lucid with an afterthought murder of the tree. And DK will be able to take down this outer turret. They are double the kills of their opposition right now. It's about a 5,000 gold lead. I mean, it's probably... Okay, Barrel is going to go in. Maybe it's Barrel. Found another angle there. As, all right, Lucid looking to come in. Does dive on top of UCal. The Empress Divide's so good. I think it's Showmaker. I think it definitely is. I mean, the flash shove to deny the Penta in game 2.
No, but I think with Ari, if you're invisible, you're not actively throwing.
Yeah.
But I think that champion has a really high... Like, you need to do stuff. Right? It's how I'd rate it. But Taliyah was really good, so maybe it is just Showmaker. Because I think Lucid's Skarner game was iffy. Like, his early game was really good, but his team fights were not great. It's definitely not Barrel.
We were talking about as far as late game potential, things like that, and front-to-back team fighting all still remain true for DRX. The problem is the 3-item Azir. Which is rough, to say the least, as Xiu gonna have to flash to get out of the way of UCal's ult. Meanwhile, there is a fight on the other side of the map, and oh my god, the knockups are everywhere. Aiming takes down Teddy. Now the damage is missing from the fight, as Sponge gonna get dove on by the Pantheon. And as long as they fight around Showmaker, this is just kinda donezo, as at least DRX will be able to get themselves an outer turret, but they're unable to even take down Xiu, and look at how quickly this Baron's gonna go down. Aiming, it's just like missing the Merkwolf with a burst fire. That's all he really needs to do this game.
It was a beautiful dream for DRX, but even an Unbreakable Spirit can't stop them from looking at this game state and going, oh god.
Yeah.
What do we do? Look at the itemization. This is what I was talking about as well. And why I feel like...
Yeah, it's attack the teleport. That's what they were kind of doing. And unfortunately, it didn't work. This is it continuing to not work, by the way, as Rich is going to at least crash into them and then dash away as Nature's Grasp coming down. Let's see where the Barrel can find a couple of targets, and he does so. Then they pile in. Lucid also actually able to survive as the 2-man shove comes through from Showmaker. Yeah, write it down. I probably put it on in there. He grabs a triple. It's almost a quadra, but Barrel is able to stomp down the tree, and DK feels like game 1 was a dream as they look to push through for the victory here. They're second on the week as they close it out. The only loss still being that pesky one to Genji. 10-1-10, Chronicler. This guy's Azir was pretty good.
Perchance, a little bit of lost game bias. I want to kind of, we've been talking about it.
Recency bias is real for a reason.
I want to introduce, the lost game bias when it comes to POM vote.
Thought that Berserker was just going to be able to, pick the hyper-aggressive matchup with the Draven and really look to hammer home the victory, but instead, I think this is more of a we're going to weather the storm to avoid the knockup by punching.
By punching, yeah.
And that would have been really cute. And now he's going to get punched into the wall. There's the knockup. Might need to flash here. Is going to do so as his Aftershock is going to pop, and that means the Berserker's easily able to pick up the kill. A charged up turret on the wave, and there's going to be no answering dive. Pyoshik getting to work on this dragon at the same time. Really good macro play here by the DN Freecs in this early game. We are poised. We are on the edge of something going down. Yeah, he knows. As Pyoshik going to drive in. They get the impale. They pull him away. Nice little knock up onto life. As we don't get any feathers to pull back insanity than I was expecting. But maybe that's the whole point.
It'll happen. Don't you worry.
All right. Leader splitting the shapes. This teleport is going to come in. We are committing to this one. As the Grubs have spawned. All 3 went over to KT last time. There is no real reason for them to fight overly aggressively onto this.
As you say,
and
TP
Cuz is going in, baby. They take one of them. Should be 5-1 as far as the Grubs are concerned, as the seismic shove does go wide. And so casting just standing in the way. That is going to mean that a lot of extra pushing power is going to belong to KT here. Over towards this Chemtech Drake. And they have started it up. Let's see whether KT actually commit to it. Galio, well and truly in the area, as we can see, and it's Peter that wants to start this fight off. Remember, they've got so many gargoyle delivery systems on the side of KT.
Doctum has his blade as well.
Yeah, Cuz goes in. Easy steal. No worries there at all, as Peter finds the Blooming Burst. There's a Pop Blossom as well. They lock down the Skarner. He's going to be the first one to fall, and somehow Peter survives until Dudu gets in over the wall. Brilliant knock-up. And now Cuz is on the warpath. Doctom able to dance around, rends down the Rumble. And KT are in a really good spot in this game. And he's going to continue to put the pressure on. 5 Grubs worth of smacking down this turret as he just walks forward. That means the Bulldog, nothing he can do. I mean, this Rift Herald will be going down imminently, and then Pioshik does have positional advantage around the Dragon. Whether that's actually going to get it for them is the big question.
So there's Herald.
Oh, yeah. Well, Life is going to find Peter. And then Peter makes all of the Nico sounds. And the Rift Herald just thrown down. So that is going to be able to create that bit of extra control for KT so that they can walk into the river. Shape Splitter as well. Great way to get yourself vision. As casting probably doesn't want to be on the front line, but that is going to be an equalizer to break up the fight. Galio going to be the first target here as Pioshik going to get punched. And then the Pop Blossom comes in from Peter, splitting them up. Galio also going to help out on that front, but not necessarily that much. Still a charm. The flash, just beautiful from BDD. Still Life. He's able to get himself out, and Peter is not so lucky as the Fate's Call didn't really work out. So, 2 in the Death Chamber, one of them has Smite. Both teams are going to go for a reset.
All flashes are down. It's really only Dudu and Berserker that have theirs, which is a big advantage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Yeah, DNF have some R buttons back available. You can see one of them coming on through now as the Weaver's Wall gets on over, but that is going to wear off.
Not enough.
Now the rest of KT just going to move in. They brute force the DN Freecs out of here. And after the wall didn't make them run away, they just said, oh dear. Sorry.
All right, river control taken by KT. Will they hold on to it?
Now let's see whether Casting can find himself a big taunt as well, as instead he's going to get knocked up. Oh, Bulldog caught, not able to ride his wall as he shoves Cuz away, but the flash forward for the knockup, and BDD is still looking for his next target. Pop Blossom from Peter is huge once again, and BDD is going to be able to follow off. The Fate's Call was brilliant just to make sure Peter was fine, and Peter even finds another Tangle Barbs onto Berserker and Pioshik. They are out of this one. They are not going to be stopping this Dragon from going down. What else are KT going to get? Well, Otacon, for starters.
DN Freecs, you could have fought that. You didn't have to let Dudu go. He had a lot of damage still left to give.
And Berserker's, like, 2 items were completed. He had item parity alongside this Callista. Haven't really seen any advantage, any opportunity, as BDD just dashes forward and charms Bulldog. Does find a 2-man seismic shove. The equalizer is phenomenally placed as Pioshik gets an impale right as the Pop Blossom comes in. They take down the turret, but at what cost? Guys, this is not how you use Otacon. It's not it. KT, it's 4 dead. It's 800 gold.
Yeah. I think this is fair. I think this is good. And
Doesn't Doctom are gonna kill Baron.
That is going to go very quickly. We'll see if Pioshik can make it over. They're trying to zone him. That's the charm.
Yeah. Tangle Bubs coming on through there as well. They get a control ward in. Remember, there's a Ren. As Pioshik going to push Peter over. Down goes the Baron. And they don't care to elaborate. Taunt is decent onto 2 as Life doesn't find the grand entrance. The wall's going to be ridden through, and now KT, I mean, they're under no threat. They've taken everything that they wanted to, and now BDD is looking for more charm. He's going to go wide. The Pop Blossom again is amazing. Peter is still my goat, and KT are going to win the fight at the same time.
Bit harrowing to watch.
And look, it might just be solved in game 2. Remember, this is a best of 3.
Oh, this
is going to be...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a roller coaster doesn't cut it.
Yeah, it was there. It existed.
Well, here's a Mountain Soul. Yeah, it's sort of like a once you've built the mousetrap,
What do you call it,
it's kind of like a roller coaster.
Yeah, it just goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like one of the perpetual motion things. That's what it sort of feels like. But anyway, that's gonna be kind of like it. It's not a roller coaster, more like a mousetrap. It's okay. There's an equalizer just to try and get them out of here, but the charm is going to connect. And Dudu did not want to walk that far forward. Does go golden. Casting, flashing away. The quickness is decent, but the Pop Blossom's better. Once again, the Fate's Call is going to be there. And these impales have landed on multiple people. But it's just been to hold them in place while they kill you.
Peter is crazy!
Peter's just the best Nico player that we have in the LCK. And I'm not even, like, it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not.
We're no longer gonna deny it.
Nope.
No as well, but we're just not seeing it.
Oh god, BDD looking for the charm. He'll find it onto Life there, who now looks for a bit more. The Impale to come through the engage Ari angle is, my god, Peter! There's no one else here, and he's dead, but
wait,
that was 4 people that he knocked up.
That's Nash, that's 2 flashes.
They are not running to Baron. Instructions unclear. Doctom's gonna get knocked up. Over the wall goes Purshik. Straight up misses. That was not great. The Rend is gonna lock him down. Now we're getting resets. And Cuz is diving in. Casting goes golden. Doctom keeping them at bay. It's a decent taunt, but Berserker is still up. The Featherstorm does less than nothing, but still it's enough to take down the Callista. 12 seconds until BDD's up with teleport, as Cuz just realizes he has to fight for it, and it's not gonna work. The shutdown goes to Dudu. Yeah, BDD not gonna do it. Cuz and Doctom are committing to this. Yoshi gonna get in. There's the quickness into the backline, as remember, there is no flash on this one. And there goes the Baron. The Skarner locks it down. It's Purshik, the hero. But can they win the team fight? The answer is probably yes, because there goes the Callista. And okay, they'll be able to get the GA out of Berserker, and they have 4 still left alive, but it's not enough to win them this game, as 4 Barons still left up for the DN Freecs.
Oh, the powers of KT!
And the powers of friendship and throwing things and all that sort of stuff, as the Elder going to be picked up here by the DN Freecs. No response from KT. Oh man.
Now the game's even. And you know the funniest part is, if they hold on for a minute and a half, KT, I think, are still in a fine state. Yeah. Well, it's not fine, because now they have gotten outskilled. And I think the game now gets really, really hard.
Yeah.
But they still have Mountain Soul, Atlas.
Yeah, state of the game-wise, and I think they're okay with it.
They just push, please, just end. You have Exodia. Do not go for side lanes. You can do this. You have the damage. Trust.
That's what they're going to look for. They're not focusing on this inhibitor just yet. They're just going to let the minions do it, stacking up another wave with another cannon on its way forward.
There it is.
KT just trying to keep their health bars up. Oh god, is Peter just getting cooked alive? Still burning, actually. That isn't going to go down to the Dragon this time, as Doctom possibly in trouble. They take down the Rumble before anything really happens, and that's just a Galio. He's going to go golden. The charm is going to connect. There's a Justice Punch onto Life. But it's not going to be enough to change the outcome of this one just yet.
Well, 1 cannon.
Yeah.
Both tops dead.
1 turret left up and available as well as KT. They've got the health bars back. Purshik could be in trouble. Pop Blossom goes entirely wide. The Fate's Call pulls Peter back. Purshik's dead. But now Life is diving in. Doctom is looking for Berserker, who just goes down. And KT are fighting against Elder, and they're gonna win. That's an ace. There goes the game. Chronicler just broke one of our monitors, and I completely understand why.
They probably can't end because
they can't end.
Seconds. We're not done with this.
We go again. We've repaired the second one.
I wish you guys.
Oh no, casting! Oh, that is not what we wanted to see. Can he actually keep himself alive? He still has the Zhonya's, but he just doesn't use it. And he's just gonna die.
Oh, is that how it ends? With a whimper? Casting?
Surely not. Oh no! Dudu! He's gonna get charmed! Are they gonna be able to pick up the kill? He goes golden, and now Doctom looking to get on top of Life! They're looking for the turn, they're looking for the fight, but Dudu's already dead! The base so much better this time! As Chronicler's not even looking at the fight, the base is just getting torn to shreds! The super minions The minions were the smartest on the Rift today as they're looking to finish off this game. And KT, they know their role. They just need to stop the backs. And BDD's just running around because DN Casting is teleporting in. And after inting into all of them, he's going to be the one that demolishes this Nexus. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3. And we get to do this again!
Right?
Just to hit the Nexus! No, he's got to get the kill on the Bulldog first. Needs to stay in this game. Finally, the punch of justice from Casting.
Also I've heard the rumbles. I know Wadid in question has told me about this as well. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. We'll see once the timer actually runs out. In theory though, I guess it makes sense. Because you know what Neferi cannot do? Is break a Fiddle Drain.
And DNF say, oh, all right. I guess that's probably the answer. Peter's now going back in. Life with the flash forward. Peter flashing away as the Realm Warp to try and get on top of him, but BDD throws down the ulti. Life is already dead. First blood goes over to Peter somehow, maybe with an Ignite tick or something like that as a public execution, and Dudu is going ballistic in this battle. Bulldog now just standing his ground, and the drain value is absurd. Casting gonna be able to grab one. Never mind. It's actually Cuz grabbing a second.
Everything gets a puppy! That's what shit, that's the one thing you pick up for, is when they do that, they don't win the fight!
Yeah, well, maybe they were like identifying that they've got Steadfast presence on cooldown now.
You have early Dragon Heat. You have already Prio. The only matchup where you're not winning is the one where you're not supposed to, because it's Duckdom, who just needs to skill into the game.
And he's not even losing. He's down 100 gold or something like that. Who really cares? Now just holding an Ambessa at bay. There goes the Mountain Drake. Cloud going to be the next one. It's going to be a Chemtech Soul. KT are probably not going to throw on Soul Point. The fight for Soul might be where the game all falls apart. As there's the Crow Storm, and down goes Life. Cuz just walking it off.
For Cuz, but do not be distracted.
Oh, public execution. Koshik looking for a way in towards his top side as Doctarm. I don't even know whether he's survived. Yeah, he doesn't. He's just dead. Koshik not able to get his 1000th kill. To get first turret, so it's not going to be first turret blood. Still, KT going to grab another round of grubs that will even things up between the two squads. Because just very happily draining and reaping and draining and reaping and having a good time.
I think Fiddle's the only character in the game that's more satisfying to do grubs with than Brand.
Oh, okay, BDD coming on in, looks for Berserker and does get him to use his flash. Deadly Flourish goes wide as Casting just needs a few shots in order to lock down this turret. As KT just jump their way in. There's another Crow Storm from the Fiddlesticks as Casting going to be able to take down the Rise as well, but he could be in trouble. There he goes. That's Pureshik with 1,000 kills, ladies and gentlemen. Now Doctarm, he's moving over as well. The curtains are being collected as BDD takes down Pureshik right after the 1,000 kills. There's now public execution, gets Dudu into the back line. They do manage to take down the Leona, but they trade it for the Poppy immediately, and Dudu is running amok. Doctarm, unable to slow him down, does find a W, but that's a triple, and it is an ace.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Well, DN Freecs gonna take the dragon. There we go. Peter, Hex flashing.
They were ready.
Oh god, we knew it was gonna be Hex Tech.
Has to be.
What a time to be alive.
I can't wait to see the Fiddle Hex Tech.
Yeah.
Can they help? If Cuz gets a big old off.
It might be a 3v3 as, yeah, Cuz gonna start charging it here as he flashes in. The drains are beginning and they haven't even killed the Jace. Dudu trying to get out of there and look at these drains. There goes Doctarm picking it up with a casual ulti that sails on by. Now up and available.
Gotta know this is coming.
Koshik's still on it. It's down to 50% as Doctarm walks onto one of the captive audiences. Oh, DN Freecs.
Yeah, there you go.
He's gonna get spotted. Now he's out of position, remember, does not have his flash. Crow Storm going to get channeled here as Peter doesn't get it. And it's going to be the Rift Herald going over to the DN Freecs. Cuz without actually finding any sort of angle here as they're looking to try and protect the eye. BDD Off to the side, can they win the fight? That's the question as Cuz comes in. The Crows are storming and two are already on the ground. The Realm Warp to get Bulldog out of there. He wants none of this. These shenanigans, not anything he wants to deal with. There's only 2 kills, but in exchange, they make their shoes very cool, which we like.
But they have a lot of tools to shut him down, because he is playing into Poppy and he's playing into Fiddle.
True. But if Dudu just comes in and cleans up every time, and KT will still just be lying on the floor afterwards.
That's true.
It's going to be a knockup to come through here. Berserker taking down this mid-outer turret to about half health. Dr. comfortably dealing with it, though, is now the DN Freecs with a dragon to contend with. On a flank angle, Pyosik in the back of the pit. As KT, they're looking to just get rid of the Rise if they can. Deadly Flourish comes down. There's the Solar Flare as well as Peter evicts one. But life is just dead. Nothing he can do, and they don't have any follow-up from Berserker. He's trying to get in range for the curtain call, but he's not even going to be able to press the button. The dragon goes over to KT.
No. What? Dude, they shoot for like 3 seconds before the question mark picks him down. Well, they might still be on time. No, I don't think they're on time. I take it back. I take it back. Not on time. Not on time. Not on time.
Not even a little bit on time. Pyosik's the last one to turn up. As, all right, there are a lot of flowers to be picked here, and oh, the DN Freecs, their strategy was to just grab all the flowers as never mind. Oh my God, the KT blender. Just nothing DNF could do.
Can't wait to see how DNF is going to fight their way back into this one, because they are really... I got nothing.
Yeah.
What?
I saw it and I was like, wow, okay, their strategy was let them take the Archon and then we'll pick all the flowers.
So
and then they did pick all the flowers. You don't get anything. And they get a free kick.
Interesting.
Yep. All right, Shock Blast also. Another 6 points. You'll have to see it. And KT do manage to get the turret that they were looking for.
The tummy rumbling isn't cool, Atlas.
What's uncool about that?
Because it's such a basic thing. You know, it's
sometimes basic things can be the coolest ones in our lives.
Oh, that's true.
Crucial Barrage. Okay, there's the ulti Cuz! And they were just standing in the brush! They didn't have the information. The curtain's going to get cold as Peter soaks every bullet ever and just dies. And now Casting's diving in. Pyosik is swatted like a fly. And Berserker's just going to have to run away. Dudu wanting to protect him if he can. It's not going to protect them from this dragon being taken and KT moving to Soul Point.
I know this is easier said than done.
Got it.
But I feel like we should stop walking.
Oh, Life getting closer and closer to number 9 as Bulldog. He's going to be their target. Dr. Arcane shifting in as the fight is going off everywhere. The ultimate from Peter does absolutely nothing. Jace Fury going to be the traders now. The Crows are storming. And it's the team fight that is just over. Bulldog now trying to go 1 versus 4. These health bars are getting lower, but he's slammed against the wall and taken down.
Why are you not there, Berserker? You have Flash! You have Barrier! Down until it's already realistically too late. And the re-engage from Cuz again, no notes, but I want you to look. After Bulldog gets this bounce, imagine... And like, I kind of get it, right? Because you're like, this already done. He's just going to die.
You get it onto Peter, you just do a fade away, and it's like plink, plink, plink,
also,
plink, Quadrico.
I think he had ult.
Big old circle he can throw down.
AT, it's been too clean. I don't believe it.
Inside the pit. BDD does go golden, then tries to get out as Bulldog is just executed with by a guy with a hammer. And Casting now looking for more. He gets into the banana brush. He's still alive. Life is going to be executed, and KT. How does that young top laner survive? After all that, they'll take themselves a Hextech Soul. And we were promised 3 games.
Did the prophecies lie?
The prophecies must have lied. There goes Pyosik. That's just a hot dog for KT's consumption. And a very electrical dragon now being set up here as Dr. gets over the wall with the Arcane Shift. Dudu just trying to be Ambassador as best he can as Dr. just flash on him, I guess. That's the way to make it happen.
Oh, Dr. we can't emote him, not in this game.
He's Crab Raven at 32 minutes in game 2 as they're bearing down on the Nexus. Curses aren't real according to Dr. And maybe no amount of cursing could save DNF from this one as Bulldog going to get engaged on one more time. Tries to boop him back with the hammer, and he does so. The Growth Storm coming in. Cuz looking so good on this Fiddlesticks. And Pioshik, it's once again him that suffers the wrath of the Scarecrow. And KT pick up a 2-0.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.